Hello there, Capricorns. Welcome to your reading. So I actually saw two images for you when I was meditating on this. Let me talk about those while I shuffle out the rest of this, the cards for this spread. So the first thing that I saw is I saw this figurine. It looks like those My Little Pony figurines, like toy. It's a little bit smaller. So it's a horse. It's a pony with really colorful, like a really colorful mane, okay? And I see a child playing with it. And first she walks it like on a table. She just moves it back and forth on a table. And she's kind of thinking, it would be so cool if this thing can fly. And so she moves it kind of like in the air, you know, back and forth as if the pony is flying. So, which essentially means that, you know, it's a pony and she thinks it's sort of like a unicorn or a flying horse, like a Pegasus. So she moves it into the air. And when I saw this, I was thinking there is a major, something really, really major in your life that you're hoping you can transform the situation in some way, okay? Transforming something from the mundane into something very, very extraordinary, okay? Or trying to make sense of a situation. And I feel almost like you might be looking at it from a different angle. I'm also seeing you might not be appreciating something fully for it's almost like you're not able to see the full potential of a situation. So rather than working and building up so that it can reach its full potential, I feel like you're kind of sitting there hoping that something would come in to change the situation, because you're kind of out of ideas as to what you can do practically from your end. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling it's almost like your hands are tied. I don't really know. I don't really know what else I can do to make the situation better. I don't know what I can do to change the situation. And at the same time, there's a sense of escapism as well. You know, wanting a situation to be a lot grander, a lot different, because you're feeling like the situation is mundane. That's what it feels like to me. I feel like you want to be a little bit careful about this energy. The Mercury retrograde time frame, okay, so this is from the 5th of March, and I believe it runs into the 23rd of March. This is a very introspective time frame, okay? It's not a time to implement any new ideas. It's not the right time to make any changes. It's really the time to kind of sit still and reflect on things that are happening around us. And in the process of reflecting on those things, we come up with automatic, really, really profound solutions to long-standing problems. We're also given a different perspective as well as to how to solve situations. And a lot of the times we kind of, you know how when we go through life, we kind of look at the situation from our perspective. But with this Mercury retrograde cycle, it forces us to kind of like look outside of ourselves and in a way see how other people see us. Okay, so this time period can be a little bit difficult for a lot of extroverted signs, especially like the fire signs and the air signs. The signs that are very, very extroverted, they seem to have a lot of problems when it comes to, like, you know, mass communication, dealing with other people, or, you know, making plans with other people, or just trying to work things out with other people. The more internal signs, such as yourself, you know, earth signs, and then water signs, you guys are more, I feel like, more able to coast through this energy, mainly because your energy is a lot more contained. But on the flip side of that, when your energy is very, very self-directed, you know, introspective, okay, or introverted, it can make you feel a little bit isolated, and it can also make you feel, during this Mercury retrograde period, you can feel almost as if you're going through your struggles on your own. Even when there are other people around you, you feel like you are kind of like alone in your struggles. Okay, and so that's one thing that you want to be a little bit careful of. There is help around you if you reach out for it, but you have to be the initiator. There is also solutions that are floating around you, solutions, like really, really good solutions to a situation that you've been feeling for whatever reason. I'm not able to resolve this one thing. And the Mercury retrograde period is the time where new solutions will surface when it comes to long-standing problems. And so I really like this time period. I mean, you know, things can go wrong with electronics and things like that. But at the core of it, especially for you guys, it's all about problem solving. It's all about looking at a situation from a different angle and being able to kind of like think outside the box, think creatively in order to find a different avenue or a different route to kind of help you get around a situation. So whatever has been blocking you, I feel like you're going to be getting some type of insights into that, okay? So I do definitely see that whole transformation of the way that you're looking at the situation. And I also feel like appreciating the mundane rather than thinking the mundane is just the mundane. It's kind of bland, vanilla, and boring. I feel like you're going to be really able to appreciate that at least it's stable, it's solid, it's something you can always count on. And in the process of appreciating something that is very constant or consistent in your life, you're going to be able to see you're going to be able to see the proper value in the right things, in the right people, in the right situation, okay? The second image that I saw for you, I saw a bunch of bowling pins that are lined up and, you know, in that pyramid formation, okay? And then I see like a bowling ball gaining momentum, and it just hurls itself towards the bowling pin and it knocks everything out. It knocks everything out of the way. So that to me indicates blasting through obstacles, overcoming challenges, and especially for those of you who are in the creative field and you have had like a creative block, you have had a writer's block, you have hit some type of a major brick wall when it comes to, you know, your creative juices flowing. I feel like you're going to be able to overcome that and blast through it and come out very successful. And for those of you, especially who might be athletes or people who, you know, you use your physical body in some type of a way, like if you're a performer with your body, a dancer, or if you do a lot of like physical activities with your body, I do see this regaining your strength and gaining your momentum again, feeling like overcoming flus and sickness and feeling like your old self again, okay? So it looks really good when it comes to being able to get your strength back and being able to feel like you have, you know, full steam in your engine so that you can keep moving forward. Okay, so those are the two images that I saw. And so the beginning of this month, it was like chugging along. I definitely felt you guys were busy. And I feel like the end of the month is all about, it's a slowdown in some way, but it's almost like the clearing of that dust, you know. When the dust settles, that's when we can see a situation clearly. And when we accept a situation for what it is and try our best to fix it or just try our best to accept it and not wanting to, you know, control it or not wanting to change it anymore, that's when things will transform. So I definitely see a lot of in this spread about, you know, looking at situation, looking at things, looking at people, looking at life, looking at work from a different perspective, okay? So in a way, I definitely see, you know, the continuation of the beginning of the month, the whole process of leveling up, okay? Needing to kind of like build your foundation so that when you level up, you're leveling up in a very concrete and a very sturdy way. So that basically means cultivating your knowledge base, having everything that you need, and making sure that knowledge that you have accumulated is true knowledge, that there is no knowledge gap, that there are no holes in the things that you're learning, so that you feel comfortable shifting from that knowledge base and starting to build more. So I definitely see a leveling up when it comes to people who might be students, people who might be learning a lot in their work environment. Like if you're going through any type of training, if you yourself are training other people, I feel like you're also learning a lot in the process, because a lot of the times, we can't teach something properly unless we know it in and out. And so you might have come to realize, wait a minute, I have to, prepare this presentation or this seminar or teach these people, and there are a few things that I'm unsure about. And when I get up on stage and they're going to ask me questions, I'm not going to be able to give them valid answers. And I feel like many of you have really struggled with not wanting to be on stage and giving people, the wrong answers, leading them down the wrong path, or even giving them information that might be, once you fact check the information that's given, it might be false. And so in the process of doing that, you find yourself having to really, really build up and fortify your knowledge base, just so you can disseminate and give out information to others in a correct way. Okay, so I feel like you're definitely taking a lot of responsibility towards self-improvement, towards building up your knowledge, towards like research and development, and towards, I feel it's more like digging for information just for your sake, so that if somebody asks you, you have a ready answer. That's what it feels like to me. And so let me talk about the cards. We have here the High Priestess. This is spiritual enlightenment, and this is pretty much about reaching some type of a solution, okay? Looking at things more like through intuitive hits, through psychic downloads, through getting some type of unexpected solution to a problem. There was definitely a problem that got you really, really stuck, Capricorn. We have here the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is a situation where we don't know where to turn. We don't know who we can rely on. We don't know if we have all the necessary information. We don't know which option to choose, and we don't know what decision or what choices to make, okay? So this is a very, very stuck energy. And keep in mind, there's nobody holding this person hostage. This person is in this predicament because of their own, I want to say, like, it's not anybody's fault, but this is sort of like, you find yourself here in this state where you are unable to make a decision because you feel like you don't have all the information. You're also at a point where there are too many, like, there's too much information. There can be too many people, too many things to factor into the equation. And you might not feel like you have all the information to adequately make this decision. And so if this is, happening at the beginning of the month, it very well could be. You have arrived at a very, very strong spiritual download. This information is coming in from your spirit guides, just so you guys know. It's not internal, okay? It's almost like it's a solution that you haven't really thought about before. And this Mercury retrograde period is really, really helping you. It's helping you focusing on where you want to go, rather than focusing on all the other things, obstacles that you have to overcome between you and your destination. And as a result of that, you're definitely able to move ahead, okay? This is like full speed ahead, moving in a very, very swift manner. Being able to kind of, like I said, blast through those obstacles, okay? This is like the rocket getting ready to take off. So I do see a lot of people in the creative field that might have had some type of creative blockages, burnt out, being overworked, over worrying, dealing with deadlines, like tight deadlines, a lot of like productivity quotas, and not really sure if you're going to be able to meet all the hours, not really sure if you're going to be getting all your work done on time. So I'm feeling like there was a major time crunch, possibly at the beginning of the month, and we're seeing the very end of the time crunch. Okay. Others of you, I'm getting a lot of spiritual energy. And what it means to me personally is I feel like there was that time crunch and you're just like, please, please, you know, praying. You're like praying, asking, please give me more time. Please allow me to, you know, get this project done on time. Please allow me to take care of everything that I need to take care of in a timely manner. And I feel almost like you were either physically praying or you might have said a little prayer in your head. And I feel like your, you know, the universe, the divine, your spirit guides, whatever you want to call it, they heard you. Okay, they heard you. And they bought you more time. And I do see as well, some of you assignments dashed off. Okay, it's almost like this time crunch really got to you. And you try to get everything in. And so when we are dealing with a time crunch, we kind of have to make sacrifices too. You know, so I'm going to turn in, let's say you have 5 things that are due, and you know you have to turn them all in. And so what you do is you spend a little bit less time to perfect the quality of each of these assignments. And so you might have dashed off, you know, all 5 assignments. It met the deadline, but you're getting some type of results that, and you know, you guys are really hard on yourself when it comes to your work, and you're starting to realize that, you know, the quality is not exactly what I was looking for. Okay. And then I feel like if those assignments are being handed over to somebody who makes the final approval, who looks it over, you don't have to worry, because what you feel, you guys are really hard on yourself. Earth signs are really hard on themselves. And so you're just like, I wish I had more time. I wish I'd done it differently. And so you're in this state where you're just like, I wonder what they're going to say. I wonder if they're going to like the outcome or the end result. I wonder if I'm going to get really positive feedback. You are going to get very positive feedback. We have the star here. Okay. And in the meantime, when this is coming through, this is basically a card about recognition, fame as well. It's a card about inspiration and wish fulfillment. So this is pretty much a lot of blessings that's going to be coming in for you. And I feel like, you know, whatever you have sent out into the world, it's going to be very well received. Okay. It's going to get you recognition. It's going to also, 6 of Wands is a big card about success. It's going to get you a wide following. It's going to get you a lot of recognition. And you're going to be, you know, going through some type of a acknowledgement phase where people are telling you you're being acknowledged for, you know, whatever project, whatever work, whatever situation you were involved in, that you spent a lot of time and a lot of resources and a lot of your personal energy trying to get it off the ground. It's going to be very well received, pretty much. Okay. And so in the future, I see some of you saying like, please help me this time, and next time I promise I'll, you know, spend more time on it. And I feel like your guides heard you. They really stepped in and intervened here and really helped you get some major thing off the ground. And the promise that you make, you have to keep. So that means we don't want a repeat of whatever's happening here. We want to make sure that we allocate enough time to situations so that this doesn't happen again, so that you don't deal with this time crunch the next Mercury retrograde period, which is, you know, in about 4 months time, 3.5 months time. Okay. So that's just something you want to be cognizant about. Okay. I feel like some of you turn in something and you're just like, if I had more time, it would be, you know, perfect. And I feel like no matter what, it's still really, really getting, you know, positive results. It's getting, it passed the bar. It passed the critics. So I feel like it's still really high quality work, but you don't believe so because you guys are very hard on yourself. Okay. So if we move away from this energy, everything on this side looks really just amazing. So let me talk a little bit about this here. Finances and career, 10 of Pentacles. And we have as well the Judgment card. News coming in from family members. Okay, there's going to be a lot of heavy news. Family gathering, families get together. News like, you know, baby showers, birth, pregnancies, get-togethers regarding like celebration of like a major milestone. Okay, family members could be getting married, engagements. I'm just seeing a lot of even like, you know, 10-year anniversaries, like really, really big family gatherings that I'm seeing, like, you know, the 10 of Pentacles. The Pentacle suit deals with earthly things, so it's a very slow moving energy. This is the family card, and it indicates wealth and prosperity, especially wealth like joint finances that has been built up over time. So I feel like many of you are in a position where you are getting paid really, really well. You might have seen as well, this is the Success card, a major uptick when it comes to your financial situation, either getting a bonus, getting a raise, getting recognition, which would guarantee that there's a raise down the line for you. So I see a major escalation or a major uptick when it comes to your financial situation. If you share finances or have joint finances with another person, I'm definitely seeing as well some, you know, some really, really good news coming through on the financial front. You know, it is, we're nearing tax season or the end of tax season. So for some of you, there could be bonuses. There could be, you know, money coming back in for you. So I do see these things that, that will make you quite happy. It's like giving you a little bit of a bounce in your step, okay? And then I'm also feeling as well, if you are dealing with a fire sign in particular, so this is especially like a Leo energy, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And we have news, communication, new love, messages of love, or communication with another person where they really open up and they start to express to you. If this is like a long-standing partner, things are going to be really, really good between the two of you. There might even be a lot of like getting together, introducing you to their family, meeting their family as well for the first time, and things like that. So if you are in particular dealing with a fire sign, they are also at a point where they might be coming into a lot of success as well. Okay, they're coming into a lot of success. So like their career is looking really, really good. They might be getting a promotion, and I feel like, you know, in a way they're going to shower you with a lot of gifts. They're going to shower you with a lot of attention, because I know that many of you really stick by your partner, okay, through thick and thin. Like you're there for them, you give them advice, you are kind of like the career coach, you show them how to do things, and you're very, very big on developing your partner's professional reputation, or even helping your partner professionally, or even on the work front, okay? And so I feel like, you know, they're coming into their own luck and fortune, and they're going to be able to shower you with a lot of gifts as a result of you standing kind of like by their side through their own, you know, professional slumps, or through their own slump in when it comes to their self-esteem, okay? I have the Star and the Hermit and the High Priestess. These are major arcana cards, and they're very, very spiritual cards, okay? They're all about the sixth sense, awakening the sixth sense, believing in spirituality, believing in prayers, believing that there is a divine source out there that's, you know, maneuvering behind the scenes, helping to align things and put things in order for us. And I feel like many of you are at a point where if you weren't a believer before, this month is making you a believer, okay? And so this is your spirit guides right here, guiding you to your destiny. And with the High Priestess, it's the unveiling process. So the unveiling process has to happen first. So they came pretty much in this order, right? You have to kind of like unveil yourself. And you have to kind of let go of the skepticism, okay? This is like whatever veil, you know, it's sort of like that movie, The Matrix, where the Matrix is all make-believe. And so we kind of have to train our mind to look at a situation through a different perspective and trust that reality can be all very, very relative. Okay, so I feel like there's a major unveiling process happening here where you are discovering something. It's almost like, you know, finding a treasure, digging for treasure and then finding it, digging for bones for those of you who are archaeologists, and then finding like something peeking out from under, you know, under the earth, unearthing something. And so this has to happen first. And then your guides will come in and show you the way. And the star is pretty much about, you know, your alignment, where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go, and ultimately what your destiny is, what your ultimate destiny is. And so I feel like many of you are at a point where you're kind of, you know, the past year has not been easy for a lot of Capricorns. And I feel really bad because I know that you guys have been hit really, really hard. And the best way that I can explain it is a Saturn transit, and Saturn deals with obligation, responsibilities. It's not a fun planet. It stays in your sign for about 3 years. So it has already passed your sign for a year. So you've got, like, I'm sorry to say, another, you know, over a year and a half of it left. But what it does is that it forces us to be the bigger person. It forces us to take care of the things that are important to us. And Saturn is also your ruling planet. And what it does is that it's comfortable in your sign, actually. Okay, but it does bring up a lot of uncomfortable things too, emotions, especially, you know, because you guys are very stoic. Whenever you have problems, you kind of you don't tell other people about it. You don't open up, and you don't see them as problems. You kind of see them as, you know, oh, that's just a minor snag in the road of life, or that's just a little bump, or that's just a temporary obstacle. I'm gonna get through it. And because of that, you do get through it, you know, one foot in front of the other, and just keep moving, right? Like, that's your mantra. And I feel like, you know, the last year was a lot of unexpected things happened, and a lot of responsibilities were placed on you. Moving into this year, you're already used to having those responsibilities imposed on you. And so this year is a little bit smoother, and then next year gets a lot smoother. But what it's doing right now is for us to kind of like make some changes when it comes to how to streamline and make things more efficient and be more adaptable. And at the same time, I definitely feel many people had a very, very rough go last year. And you're also turning into spiritual insights to help you explain and help you make sense of everything that you're going through, which is great, because I feel like, you know, once we are aware of what's happening and how and what we're supposed to learn from things, it makes it a lot easier, because then we don't focus on the problem, we focus on the solution. Then we don't focus on, you know, oh, woe is me. We focus more on self-care and self-empowerment. So I feel like that's what's happening here, because you are definitely aligned. And you're also getting, you know, in a way, you're understanding as well. You have this innate understanding that hard work always pays off. And that's why, you know, you always put one foot in front of the other, do what you're supposed to do. You don't whine, you don't complain, you don't like shrug your responsibilities off on other people. And then I also see on the flip side, okay, and this is for the ones that have shrugged responsibilities off on other people, or might not have been very responsible when it comes to their actions. Those of you that have been doing that, I feel like, you know, Saturn was just this major, like, wake-up call. You know, it's like those pins getting knocked down, okay? All those excuses that we make, all of those things that we should have done differently, that we were just like, oh, I can do it another day, like procrastination, things that we procrastinated on, or things that we know we should do, we know we should change, like, you know, we know that they're not good for us, so we need to kind of let them go. you might be hit a little bit hard. And I definitely feel like you find yourself in this space very, very stuck. There's no movement, and there's a lack of direction here. And what I would urge you to do is, yes, revert to spirituality. Before you go to sleep, say a few prayers. And if you're feeling really, really stuck, you want to ask for guidance, okay? Your guides are definitely hovering around you. And whatever, you believe in, whoever you believe in, say a little prayer, and I feel like you're going to get some really strong psychic hits. The energy is definitely here. It's to your advantage to utilize it. Whenever I'm stuck with a problem, and this was before I got into, spirituality. I remember I was in high school. I had a math problem, and it haunted me for days, and I could not solve it. And I went to sleep, and then I found the solution in my dreams. Okay, so it does help. You will get all your questions answered. You will get solutions to long-standing problem, and it's okay to ask for help. Okay, and that means ask for spiritual guidance, ask for help from the people around you, because this card here indicates a lot of love coming from family, a lot of love. Okay, for many of you guys, the family environment might not have been, oozing with love and affection. There might have been estrangement between mom and dad. There might be, a lot of people, like siblings, that are, ambitious, okay? And they're busy with work, they're busy doing their own things, and they're not like physically available. But when it comes to responsibility, I see a big family unit that has a big sense of responsibility towards each other. So they might not tell you, oh, I really love you, I care about you. They don't, talk about those mushy things, but they're definitely there. So if you need help, like if you need physical help, if you're gun shy about, spiritual help, and you need something concrete, you definitely can reach out. And I feel like the message is to urge you to reach out, because I'm seeing a lot of ancestral energy. And when that comes up, it usually means a whole clan, a whole family, a whole tribe is being protected from people like in that bloodline that have passed away. So that usually means your whole family is protected. And because of that, your guides might want you to ask your family, because they're going to be there, okay? So I hope the reading is helpful for you guys. I'm really glad we're closing off this cycle with your reading, because this looks really, really good. And I feel like April is going to be a shining beacon of light for many of you. Okay? Best of luck with everything. I am glad I made yours on time, just for the 15th of the month, so that we're not behind, okay? Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.